Hi everyone, Aaron here for Zollotech, and this is Apple Vision Pro. It comes in this special bag that fits the overall box, so I thought we'd take a look. We'll unbox it, see what it looks like, set it up, and sort of take a first look at the interface. So let's go ahead and slide it out of this bag here. Everyone at the local Apple store was very nice. They wanted me to actually do a tutorial with them, which I didn't really do because I wanted them to sort of pick this up, and then what they do is actually package this in the back room after you select your mask and everything else, or the light blocker, or whatever they're calling it at this point. So let's set this aside, and here's the Vision Pro box itself. So it's a pretty large box. I opted for the 512 gigabyte variant, and this particular model, it should say 512 gigabyte on the back here, and it does. So this comes in at $3,699. It starts at $34.99 with 256 gigabytes and goes up to $38.99 with 1 terabyte. Now this also can have Apple Care added to it for $500. So it's a pretty expensive piece of equipment. We'll go ahead and probably add that. Let's go ahead and unbox it here. We'll take the other strip off the other side. There we go, and it should open up like this. So there is Vision Pro itself. Here's the box, nothing else inside the top of the box. We'll set that aside. There we go, and there is Vision Pro itself. Now this is a little bit smaller than I had thought, but this gives you an idea of what it looks like. It's just sort of sitting there, a really nice presentation. Let's pick this up. It is pretty heavy, and we'll take a look at that in just a moment, but let's set it aside, see what we get in the box. This piece comes off. Just a quick look at that. And we've got designed by Apple in California. It's got a polishing cloth. We have a light seal cushion. So let's open this one up first. And inside we've just got some paperwork. Then we've got a polishing cloth, very lightweight. So to give you an idea, if you saw the one for the current displays Apple sells, it's a little bit different, definitely thinner, a little more flimsy, but lighter weight and a little bit different texture as well. Also, one thing to note is the polishing cloth actually says Vision Pro on it. It has this nice weave to it. Then we have the light seal cushion. Now this is an option for a different thickness. So if we open this up, of course I'll have to try it out and see what it's like, but it opens up like this. And it says W+, use the light seal cushion if prompted by the system if you need more room for a better fit. So we have that option here. I'll just remove it for now. See if this comes out like this, I guess. And we'll remove it for now. It has magnets on it to help it adhere, and it says W+ there. We'll put those two things back in. And here we have larger paperwork, it looks like. So it looks like we have a booklet in here. A large booklet showing, I guess, everything here in color, which is really nice. So we have all of the different accessories, as well as sort of what things are named, the light seal, the power cable, the battery, even lenses if you got some of those, and I did, but they're not here just yet. And then also how to adjust it. We have pairing with your iPhone and sort of adjustments. The other band we'll take a look at in a moment, the dual loop band, and how to remove the strap, how to adjust it on the back, and so on. So I wanted to show this. I hadn't seen this shown anywhere else as far as what's in here. Again, handling it, care instructions, other things as well as far as how to even wrap the actual battery pack itself. So that's everything as far as that goes. Let's put this away. And then it says dual loop band. So we've got the dual loop band here. If we open that up, the band itself is here. Of course, I'll try both of them out to see what they're like. But there's the dual loop band. Very high quality material. We've got Velcro on both parts. And then inside we have a power cable. This is just your typical braided USB-C to USB-C cable, it looks like. So we'll remove that. You can see this here. Again, just a typical USB-C to USB-C cable. And then also we have a power brick. Well, it just came apart by itself, but let's see if we can take that out of there. And it's just a 30-watt power brick. So typically what you'll have with different devices as well, MacBooks and things. And here's the battery pack. This is actually pretty heavy. So let's open this up here. This is made out of aluminum, it feels like. And then on the back of this, it also says it's 35.9 watt hours, which is a better way to actually measure this, or 3,166 milliamp hours. But the watt hours is a more accurate measurement, as based on other things, it's actually a little bit more power than you would think. Let's open this up, take a look at the cable, and then we'll look at the headset itself. So the cable's attached to the bottom. It actually twists to remove it out of the packaging. And you can see up close, here's what the actual cable looks like. It twists into place. It's aluminum, a braided cable. So very nice. And then this pretty heavy battery pack. Here we have USB-C. Then we have this cable. And I wanted to remove this as this looks like a large lightning cable. So if we use a SIM card ejector tool and just pull, it doesn't take much force to remove this. Here is the cable. It looks like a large lightning cable, and compared to an original lightning cable, that gives you an idea as well. Let's place this back in. Just like that, it locks into place. And let's take a close look at the headset. Now here's the headset itself. So we'll remove this piece here, this paper cover in the back. This actually has a little bit of air in between it to sort of hold it properly. Then also let's take a look at this. So here's the headset inside. Maybe we'll take the band off in a moment to take a closer look. And then we have a cover on the front glass. So this comes along with it. And let's take a look at this. This just has a nice microfiber lining inside. And then the display up close. Let's see what we've got here. So we've got a couple cameras, a ton of different sensors, but this is super reflective, as you can see. Sensors, cameras, sensors on the bottom. This is pretty heavy, and we'll measure the weight in a moment, but the overall headset itself has a digital crown on the top right. We've got some vents at the top, which apparently there's some fans in here with the M2 and R1 processor. You've got a button on the left for capturing video or audio. It looks like maybe some microphones, some vents, and even more sensors. So you've got your spatial audio speakers here as well. And let's take a close look at the lens on the back. So this just pops off by pulling these little orange tabs. Let's pull these out like that, and you can see the back of the lenses. So that gives you an idea of what they look like. This is removable with magnets, and even this is removable. So here is the device itself. Looks like you could press in a little maybe SIM card ejector tool and remove these sides, but that gives you an idea of what it looks like with the light seal in place, then the cushion, and all the magnets. Now, as far as the band on the back, it's adjustable, so you can turn this and it looks like it pulls these little orange pieces. It feels very comfortable though, so that's pretty nice. Let's take a look at some of the magnets in it, and then we'll look at the weight. So this is magnet paper, and I'm not sure it will show anything, so not a whole lot around the outside. On the back where all the magnets are, I'm sure it will show. You can see a bunch of magnets there, just to hold the front piece in place. Some magnets there as well. So let's place this back on. We'll put the loop back on. Looks like it just clips into place like that. Now it's in place. And also the speakers on the side here I wanted to show you. So there's one of the speakers. There's a couple different speakers in here. You can see here, there's one of the big ones. That's basically a woofer. Maybe there's a little tweeter in there as well, and that gives you an idea. On the underside, you'll see the same thing. So you can't see a whole lot there, but we do have some extra speakers in there. As far as its overall weight, well, let's take a look. I have a little scale here, and we'll compare it with sizes as well. Let's zero that out if we can. There we go. And we'll place it on here. And it says it's 621 grams. Now, Apple says it's 600 to 650 grams, or 21.2 to 22.9 ounces. So you switch it there, right within what they're saying. So it's about what you would expect. I'm sure it depends on the band and more. As far as a quick size comparison, I do have a Meta Quest 3 right here. This is a little smaller than you would think. So side by side, here is a Meta Quest 3 that we've used regularly in our home. If we tilt it up like this, you'll see the overall size. Put them face to face. I don't want to scratch the front, but that gives you an idea. It's not quite as wide. It's a little bit thinner than I would have thought, but it definitely feels pretty heavy. Now let's go ahead and place the battery on the side and turn this on for the first time. So here's the battery, and the way we turn this on is on the side here. So we put this on here like this, Then we turn it. There is no way to turn it off, and apparently once this stops blinking, that's when you start the setup. Now, unfortunately, you can't really show this to anyone while you're setting it up, so I'll try and explain it when we do that. Now, I'm sitting at my normal workstation. Let's go ahead and place this on my head, and we'll get it set up. So we'll go like this. We'll adjust the band on the right, and I'll describe what I see. So it says press and hold the digital crown to align. So I'll press and hold. It's adjusting the little eyepieces inside, and I can see what others were saying. This is definitely heavy. We can see an Apple logo, and now I can see this in pass-through. So I can actually see the camera, the lights, and my monitor in front of me and everything else. We've got the Mac boot up sound, and it says hello. So that's pretty nice. It says press digital crown to begin. So I'll go ahead and do that. It says triple click the top button for accessibility options, so we have those as well. Again, this is kind of heavy, so let's see if I can move this around. It says bring iPhone or iPad nearby to get started. So I can see my iPhone. I'll unlock it here. And you can see, well, maybe you can't see, but it wants me to set up the Vision Pro. We'll tap Unlock to continue. Now it says waiting for Apple Vision Pro. So I'm not sure if you can see this, but it says waiting for Apple Vision Pro, set up Apple Vision Pro. It says look here. It's very similar to what you have with maybe setting up a new iPhone or something along those lines. And it gave me a check mark, so that's pretty neat.
Your eyes and hands are how you navigate Apple Vision Pro.
So it's walking me through a tutorial.
You can keep your hands where they're comfortable, such as resting on your lap.
It says press the digital crown to set up your eyes and hands. So we'll press it. Now it wants me to show my hands in front of me. So we'll do that. It says flip them over. And it says hand setup complete. It says adjusting lighting. We'll give it a moment. It says look at the dot and then tap your fingers to select it. So I'm just looking at the dot. It's sort of setting it up. Now I'll look up at the dot. Apparently there's a bunch of them. It says now select all the dots in the circle. Okay, I can kind of see how this is magic. So just pressing your fingers together while you're looking. Looks like it wants me to do it again. It says select more dots to refine your eye setup. You can navigate around it very fast if you can just look quickly. It says one more time in brighter lighting. Got some nice audio to go with it. And these speakers so far sound great. It says completing eye setup. It says Persona Beta, capture how you'll appear in FaceTime and other calls, and personalize eyesight. Let's go ahead and get started. So it looks like this on the front.
Keep your arms and shoulders relaxed. Align your entire face within the frame. Adjust your head by tilting it slightly down.
And it's sort of showing myself.
Turning it slightly left. Keep your face in a neutral expression. Slowly turn your head to the right. Now, slowly turn your head to the left. Now, tilt your head up. Then tilt your head down. Next, let's capture your facial expressions. Smile with your mouth closed. Then make a big smile with your teeth showing. Now, raise your eyebrows. Close your eyes for a moment. Capture complete. Put Vision Pro back on to continue.
So that was pretty simple. Let's try it out. It says creating persona, and as soon as I can let you see this, of course I will. One thing to note is this band on the back of my head is super comfortable, but it's definitely pressing against my face quite a bit. Next, it wants me to set up Optic ID to use my eyes. So go ahead and do that. That's it. All I had to do is look at the screen and then create a passcode. So I'll do that. Then we have a data and privacy setup to go through, and it says it may take a few minutes to activate your Apple Vision Pro. So a couple notes on comfort, very comfortable. So far it's not sealed on the sides right here, but maybe I'll use that thicker band. It will be a little different. We'll tap continue. It says setting up Apple ID. And if you look on my phone, it says enjoy your Vision Pro. So it made me sign into my Apple ID for some reason, even though I transferred settings. That was a little bit tricky to do, but we'll give it just a moment here. And it says look at the top of your view and tap the little down arrow. That's how you get Control Center apparently. And that's that. So we have Control Center. And I'll show you this in just a moment. So it's loading. And it says welcome. Press the digital crown to open home. Now it's recording the screen and you should be able to see what I see. So now here's my camera, my light, another camera, and I've got my Mac, and this is my typical editing desk in front of me. Let me press and hold, and you'll see this is what it looks like. So if we close the Control Center, now I have to physically look up, see the arrow at the top, then focus with my eyes on what I'm seeing here, and we can see different maybe areas. So let's try an environment. Light, automatic, and I don't have one selected. There we go. And I can dial in an environment. Now that's pretty nice. So now I'm in the same environment. I can't see through, but I can see the environment. Let's go to the App Store, just tapping with my fingers to select. It says welcome to the App Store. Everything's sort of transparent. Again, I can look at the bottom bar, just pinch and move it around. We've got Disney Plus. We can pinch like a string and just slide it back and forth. We can sort of have a little bounce with it. That's a little bit tricky to use. There we go. So we can fling it up and down like that. We've got all of our different Office apps. I'll definitely be installing a bunch of these, but I just kind of want to take a first look. So if I want to put this App Store here, I can just pinch and move it. I can look at the corner, grab it, resize it, and then just close it. Press the button to go back to everything else. If I want to change the environment, bring in more of my surrounding environment, shows it there. Let's look up and see if we can maybe go to the Control Center, and we can bring in the Mac Studio if we want. So let's see if it connects. And there's my Mac Studio. So this is my entire editing screen, typical of what I regularly have. Maybe if we go to see if the mouse works, the mouse just works here, then we can go to whatever we'd like and then type. So now if I go back into Apple Vision Pro, let's go into settings and take a look at what version we have as people were asking. So let's go into about, and I'm seamlessly using the trackpad with it. And we have version 1.0 that comes pre-installed. You can see if we click on it, we have build number 21N307, and we have an update as well. So if we go back, go to software update, we should have an update to VisionOS 1.0.2. So this is what it looks like. I'll update this a little bit later. Let's just take a look at a couple other things. So you can press again, look up and down at maybe environments. You can see all the different settings, eyes and hands. Very, very smooth and seamless to use, but you really have to focus where you look in order to use this. Now these displays look incredible. I personally definitely can tell I'm still looking through a display. The field of view is quite good, but not as big as a Meta Quest 3, at least from what I'm seeing here. So let's go ahead and close it. Let's go ahead and close the Mac, press this button, and then we can see all our different apps. So we have compatible apps, freeform, and this is just kind of what we have so far. We've got Encounter Dinosaurs, which many have seen online. Let's see, it says allow encounter. Allow them to access the space, and let's see what happens here. So again, this is my desk. I definitely need to use that Belkin adapter to clip this on. So you can sort of walk around, it says. The sound's incredible. So we'll go back to home. We'll explore a couple more things here. Let's just slide. We've got notes and freeform. Go into Safari. That's not what I meant to do, so we'll go back. There we are. There's Safari. Now let's see if it uses, it's still not paired because I don't have my Mac paired with it, but apparently I can look up here at the microphone, apple.com. That's simple enough. Waiting for it to load. And it says, welcome to the era of visual or spatial computing. So you can just scroll down. We can look at maybe iPhone. It loads that. It does take a little bit of getting used to as far as where to look with your eyes. Again, scrolling. If I want to take this and maybe, let's place this over here for now. Place notes over here. Go back to the digital crown. I wish there was a different way to bring that up. Maybe I'm just not aware of it. Compatible apps. And you can see things that are not made for Vision Pro but have this. One thing to note is you can't actually arrange these. They're automatically arranged, maybe in future updates, but we have things that will work, but they don't work just yet. And then I'm going to try out watching some movies on it, trying everything else. So hopefully this gives you an idea of how this actually works. I'll have to try this for the next few days to see what it's actually like, see what the pass-through is like in different environments, try it out. And just going into things such as photos and trying a panorama. Let's try that quick and then we'll conclude for today. So we've got immersive panoramas. It says experience panoramas in a new way. Now that's pretty neat. Can we zoom in or anything? Doesn't look like it, but it sort of wraps around. There's the Eiffel Tower. We'll exit the view and tap done. So I don't really have any of those just yet. Let's go to spatial, immersive, and they're a little low res, but there's definitely some depth to these. So that's pretty nice, pretty incredible. So I think you get the idea. I do like the idea of just bringing in my Mac. That's definitely something I'll use. Looking up to use the control center is a little odd. And you can adjust just the volume. Doing that, you've got notifications, your control center, and well, that's kind of a first look, like I said. So Mac Studio, bring that in again, and there we go. It only allows for one window at a time. I can make this huge, have a 100-inch display or just a little display. So that's pretty great. I'll have to see what latency is like and everything else a little bit later. So that's a first look at Apple Vision Pro. One thing to note is when you place this on your face, it actually uses Optic ID to unlock it. That's pretty neat. And of course, I'll have to use it for a few days to see what it's like, whether that's editing video, manipulating photos, going through regular photos, just using it day to day. But if there's anything specifically you'd like to see about Apple Vision Pro, let me know in the comments below. If you haven't subscribed already though, please subscribe, and if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.